Okay, tonight I'm going to attempt to show quite a bit. Try to keep the video kind of short because it takes a while to upload. This is my Dark Angel pair. They're actually just on eggs as of yesterday. They just got their methylene blue treatment, so they just got done attacking my hand as I put the methylene blue on there. But you can see Dad fanning the eggs. He hasn't started to get super defensive yet, but I'm going to try to hopefully track this batch as well, as long as they opt to keep them, which, since they're confirmed parents, I am almost sure that they will. Pretty large batch of eggs this time, so hopefully I will be tracking a second batch as I follow up with this next batch. Now, wanted to kind of show, sorry about the glare, the brine shrimp setup. I use 3 2-liter bottles. Ultimately, very simple setup, 10-gallon tank, little heater to keep temp right around 78 degrees on a consistent basis. The way that I run my brine shrimp hatchery, I do 2 running concurrently. I hatch in the morning, do 3 feedings from the morning feeding, hatch in the evening, that's that second one on the right, and do 3 feedings in the evening usually. If I have the day off, obviously I'll feed throughout the course of the day. That third container is a holding container. I just emptied a batch of brine shrimp in there, so ultimately I'm going to show you guys feeding the babies tonight. And ultimately I'm going to show you the fry real quick prior to feeding them. But pretty basic setup. This is baby feeding station, so you can see my little food grinder for blackworms and whatnot. They have just started eating those to a decent degree. I also grind up Bill's beef heart flakes. And this is our fry at this point. Starting to get pretty big. Starting to actually be able to see them a little bit. You can tell they're pretty excited for dinner. Again, they went free swimming on 7/7. 6 meals a day, 2 water changes a day. To give you an idea of size, it's kind of pretty tough. They get their first tank change tomorrow. I'm setting up their 37-gallon for them. So tomorrow afternoon I have the day off, so I'll be moving them in there and probably take at least some pictures or whatnot to catch up there. This thing is focusing so piss poor right now. But ultimately I'd say they are definitely larger than dime size at this point. Probably going to end up separating the bunch. There are 22 fry that I ended up keeping. Couple culls, not too many. Really only started out with a batch of about 25 to 26, so not too terribly many of them to begin with. Let's see if I can improve this a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get the brine shrimp and get them fed. I just use a turkey baster. I make 1 teaspoon at a time of eggs, and ultimately they will eat that teaspoon. Usually about 3/4 of that batch gets eaten. Oh, let me find myself here. It is really hard to hold the camera and do the turkey baster at the same time. I'm trying to get a good camera view. Usually I feed on the opposite side of the damn filter. That way you can get a little bit better coverage with the brine shrimp versus them all just going into the feeder. So this is where I usually feed. And they've learned what the tube means. I tend to feed pretty heavily and just keep up with water changes. I find that best as far as growth is concerned. But everybody's eating healthy. So they've done pretty good so far. This batch of brine shrimp did not go well at all. I think I had an issue. I forgot to move the lamp back up. I move it down to the bottom so that they can gather at the bottom when I change them, or when I siphon them out of the containers, and I forgot to move the light back today. So there are many less brine shrimps and too many cysts in there, but ultimately I think I did a pretty good job separating the cysts out, so they should still have plenty to eat. But as you can see, everybody's eating healthy, so I'm going to log off, and this is Drew's log, week 3. Again, free swimming on 7.7, slightly over dime size, still feeding about the same diet, but ultimately I will check back and try to do a weekly video, and I'll keep track of the new eggs as they hatch too. So as soon as they go to Wiggler and attachment, I will try to take photos at least of them and start a separate thread. So thanks for watching.